Hi guys, I'm Matt. Welcome back to our aquariums. A new thing that I'm kind of going to do once a week now is give a little or do a little video here on coral care on specific types of coral. So for the first video today, I'm going to talk a little bit about this green star polyp colony you can see right here. This is a pretty decent size one. It measures about a foot to a foot, or about 13 inches across by about 6 inches wide, front to back. It's a really big one I picked up from a person. Generally, these take they're pretty fast growers. They're in the soft coral classification, so they're the easier type of coral. They're one of my favorites because they encrust over rock, which is something I love. Encrusting corals, I don't know why, I just love them. They attach really easy to rocks or frags, or I've seen pictures of people's tanks where they're growing up the back side of the glass wall, which is really cool look because you cover up your glass and it's flowing. But I also really love flowing corals, which is something this does really well, especially when it's happy and the polyps are fully extended, like you can kind of see now on mine, where it's just flowing all over the place in the flow from my pumps, and it adds a really nice aesthetic to aquarium, in my opinion, to have that flowing movement, and it's a really bright, vibrant green, which is another thing I love about it. So a couple of the care tips on it, I guess I would say, is it tends to like, well, I've noticed anyways with mine, it tends to like a little bit higher flow once it's established in the aquarium. You know, once it's hooked onto a rock good, it really likes a little bit more flow and get to bring the food to it. It's a filter feeder, and it also, you know, feeds off of the light. So that's the other thing. It's a lower light coral, but I have noticed that with a little bit higher light than what I'd normally call low light, it really tends to extend really well. Right now I have it under Kessel 360 wide lens light, or pendant light, and I've been slowly dialing it up on the intensity every day a little bit, and it seems to really like the higher light now that I've been giving it to it. It grows pretty fast, so some people consider it a little bit of an invasive species in their tank, depending on what it is. Tends to like, I've noticed anyways, a little bit dirtier of water, like obviously not, you know, super dirty or anything, but it likes that, because it's a filter feeder, like all filter feeders, it tends to like that little bit dirtier water. So, and then it requires, you know, the normal reef additives and whatnot that you put in your tank. I do pretty big water changes, so I don't add a lot to my tank, water-wise, or additive-wise. What I do add to my tank is Kent Marine Coral Vite, and that I add it once a week in a dosage. It has it right on the bottle for my size tank, and it seems to keep everything pretty decently happy. That paired with big water changes, you know, the extra salt adds back in a lot of the required nutrients for these corals, so it seems to be doing really well just on decent light, good flow, and the few additives that I give it, and good water changes. Since I've had it, I think I've had it for about 2 months now, and it's already grown quite a bit. It's kind of dropping some arms down to encrust onto the other rocks, which is what I wanted it to do. It's really cool when it encrusts, you know, into a whole reef and rock area. A lot of people, you know, you do have to watch it, because once it encrusts onto a rock, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get off. It can be done, but it's just because it is an encrusting one, it's just not super easy to get out of reef rocks. So my suggestion would be, if you want it to cover an entire area like I have set up here, awesome, it'll do that over time. But if you don't want it to encroach onto its neighbors or other corals, set it off in the sand by itself on a rock that you just want it to encrust, or kind of keep it trimmed back if you can. So other than that, it's a super easy coral, great beginner coral for low light aquariums. I love it in nano tanks, I love it in big tanks. I think it, generally speaking, should be a part of, well, any reef tank I ever have, it will most likely be a part of, just because I love the way it looks. I love how easy it is to grow, and it adds great color. I mean, that bright green color you don't see in a lot of other stuff, coral-wise. So, that's it for this one. I hope this helps any of you out there looking to trying or possibly considering buying some of this for your reef. Yeah, so hopefully next Friday I will have another one of these coming out with a different coral and care on it. Hope you all have a great 4th of July, and catch you later.